Welcome to TechSoftware.com presents the TechSoftware.com iPad 1040 software. After downloading the iPad software for TechSoftware.com, you can go ahead and open it up from your desktop. Since we'll be doing the 1040 out of all the various selectable tax returns, we'll go ahead and select it by clicking that box and saying next. On the first page, you can go ahead and fill in basic information about the taxpayer, including their social security, their name, and their email address. You can also mark whether or not they are 65 or older, or if they're blind. On the second page, on the very next page of the return, you can go ahead and enter their birth date and the occupation of the taxpayer, and whether or not they want to enter $3 towards the presidential election campaign. The page after that, you can go ahead and enter the taxpayer's domestic address information, street address, city, state, and zip. You should be aware that the state can be entered through a handy scroll-down menu. On the next page, you can enter whether or not it's a single taxpayer, a married taxpayer, a married filing separate taxpayer, a head of household taxpayer, or qualifying widower. For the sake of our example, we'll use a single taxpayer. On the next page, you can mark whether or not the taxpayer wants to take an exemption for themselves. On this page, if you have any dependents that you want to report, mark the box and click Next. And then on the page, you can enter the dependent information: first name, last name, social security, and their relationship to the taxpayer. The dependent relationship can also be selected from a pull-down menu. You can also enter the year of birth, and you can mark if you have more dependents, in which case you would mark the box and just click Next to fill in the information. On this page, you can mark whether or not you have any W-2s. If you do, just mark this box and then click Next, and you'll be asked to enter the W-2 information. On this page, you'll be asked if you have any interest or dividend payments that were paid to you during the year. If you do, mark this box, and you'll be asked to fill in the Schedule B on the next page. If you have less than $500 in interest or dividends, you can just enter it on this page. On this page, if you have a 1099-R to report, you can enter it by marking this box, and just like with the W-2, clicking Next and entering the information from the 1099-R. On this page, you can mark if you have any Schedule D capital gains or losses. If you do, mark this box, go to the next page. Make sure you fill in the description, the date acquired, date sold, sales price, and cost of the capital gain or capital loss. You can enter multiple capital gains or losses. On this page, if you have any short-term gains or losses from estates, partnerships, as corporations, and trusts, they will be reported. They are calculated from your Schedule E. On this page, it will sum up all capital gains and losses for Schedule D, long-term, short-term, and if you have a loss greater than $3,000, it will apply up to $3,000 towards this tax return. If you need to file a Schedule C, we have the Schedule C EZ available for the 1040 iPad product. It allows you to fill in the information for the company, including the business code, product, or service. It also allows you to fill in the basic information: net profit, gross receipts, total expenses that are less than $5,000. If you have more than $5,000 in expenses, you must use the full Schedule C. And then you'll get the net profit automatically calculated. If you have a car that was used, or truck, or any other vehicle that was used in your business, you can mark it and its information on this page. If you have any supplemental income or losses from a corporation, partnership, or trust, you can mark this, that you need the Schedule E and click Next. If you also have any rental income or royalties, also mark the Schedule E. You'll get the Schedule E information from a K-1 if you received it. On this page, enter any adjustments you have to your tax return. If you have any 1099-G income, alimony income, or unemployment income, or Social Security benefits, or federal tax withheld from the 1099-G or 1099 SSA, enter it here. If you have any paid out alimony or amount paid for a penalty for the early withdrawal of savings, enter it here. On this page, you'll see the adjusted gross income calculated from your previous answers. If you have any child or dependent care expenses, mark this box and click Next. If you have any education credits, mark this box and click Next. If you want to take credit for the child tax credit, mark this box. If you need the Form 1040 Schedule A, mark this box, click Next, and you will be able to fill in all the parts of the Schedule A. If you need to fill in the Schedule L instead of the Schedule A, mark this box and click Next. Here, you will see the total itemized or standard deduction that applies to your return. You will see the calculated tax here. If you need to fill in the Schedule M, you can mark this box. Then you'll be able to fill in the various information for the Schedule M. If you made any payments through estimated tax non-taxable combat pay, or if you have an amount paid with an extension request, you can enter the information here. On this page, enter the taxpayer's daytime phone number. And on this page, it will show you how much you overpaid or underpaid, amount to be refunded or amount due. And if you have an amount to be refunded, it will ask you how much you want to put towards next year's tax. On this page, you can choose whether or not you want to use one of the taxsoftware.com EPS financial bank products. And on this page, by marking this box, it signs your return electronically instead of having to print it out and send it in by mail. This page also allows you to get a direct deposit of your refund if you have one, or a direct withdrawal of the amount due if there is any due. On this page, you will enter the bank account information if you selected for direct deposit or direct withdrawal for your refund or amount due. On this page, you will continue entering information as the signature for your tax return. You can select a time zone from another pull-down menu. On this page, you will finish entering signature authorization information by entering your taxpayer PIN here and here, last year's and this year's. Remember, it is 5 digits long. Alright, on the last page, you can enter you need to make sure you have the correct email address here so that the IRS can contact you to signify that they received your return and that it has been accepted and that there are no errors. From this page, you can do several things. You can click Preview at any point in the return to take a look at what your tax return actually looks like. You can click Review to select a page to go to if you want to change it. By selecting it, clicking Review twice. You can also, from the review screen, ask for support from taxsoftware.com by selecting Support and Allow, putting in any message relative to your question here, and then pressing Confirm Send when you're done. When that's done, you can press Review to go back to your tax return. At the very end of your tax return, when you are complete, you can click the e-file button. You can click Allow, and when you're ready, click Confirm Send. This will send your tax return information to taxsoftware.com and the IRS. When it is done, you can click the Click Here to Pay button to pay the taxsoftware.com filing fee. This concludes the demo of the taxsoftware.com 1040 product for the iPad.